Good morning. I'm Chandrika Behel, Managing Director of Comnet Exhibitions. We have been HKTDC's partner in India since 1990. I'd like to start with thanking GJEPC for taking the initiative to set up this course. It's my pleasure to introduce our very esteemed panel for today's webinar. Our first speaker needs no introduction. Mr. Sabyasachi Ray is Executive Director of GJEPC. He has been instrumental in setting up the Manikanchan Special Economic Zone, the first sector-specific SEZ in the country for advancing the exports of jewelry from the eastern region of India. He has also been instrumental in transforming the India International Jewellery Show to the mega show it is today. In his tenure in the council, he has actively participated in the introduction of iconic events like the India International Jewellery Week, IIJS Signature, etc. He has not only helped the Indian diamond industry to gain a strong voice in the Kimberley Process Scheme, but also provided leadership to the African countries during the Zimbabwe crisis of KP to emerge as one of the finest statesmen in the diamond industry today. Mr. Ray has successfully rallied and argued with the different government departments of India and the states to create policies for the betterment of the trade and exports in India. He is also the force behind the creation of the Gem and Jewellery Skill Council of India. Today, gem and jewelry is one of the highest foreign exchange earners of the country, and India polishes 14 out of 15 diamonds in the world, which makes him one of the busiest executives of any non-profit organization in the country. Our next esteemed speaker is Mr. Victor Yu. Mr. Yu is a member of the organizing committee of HKTDC International Jewelry Show and HK International Diamond Gem and Pearl Show. He is also a member of the HKTDC Jewelry Advisory Committee. Apart from his role in HKTDC, he is also the Vice Chairman of Shanghai Diamond Exchange, Vice Chairman of Diamond Federation of HK, Honorary Treasurer of HK Jewelry Manufacturers Association, and he's also the Director of the Brilliant Trading Company and Director of Zurich Jewelry Company Limited. He has abundant experience in the diamond and jewelry industry and is a long-term supporter of the HKTDC jewelry shows. Our next speaker will be Ms. Jenny Koo. Ms. Koo is Director, Exhibitions Market Development of HKTDC. She is responsible for overseeing more than 30 exhibitions every year organized by the HKTDC, including the HK International Jewelry Show and HK International Diamond Gem and Pearl Show. Lastly, we have Mr. C.F. Ng. He is the Senior Exhibitions Manager, Publications and E-Commerce Department of HKTDC. He is responsible for the promotion of online and printed advertising and the e-commerce platform for the hktdc.com sourcing portal. So, Mr. Ray, can I invite you to please start the session now? I think you need to unmute, sir. Yes.
So, thank you, Chandrika. And if I'm audible, so let us start today's, this interaction. And we are lucky that we are having with us a very experienced panel. And before we move into that, I would like to just give a background. India and China. China, all of us know that the largest markets in the world for diamond jewelry, also for clean. And of course, India and China shared a common border, a common history, common friendship. It's a long time. And not only that, the gem and jewelry industry of India and China, and also through Hong Kong, share a very close bond, basically. Most of the Indian diamantiers, which you see, all the big, large ones, basically, are having their offices not only in Hong Kong, but also in Shanghai Exchange. And if you look at the exports, exports and imports with Hong Kong and India, and basically between Hong Kong and India, mainland China, it is not that much. We can find that of the $39 billion of exports from India, in the calendar year in 2019, some 28%, have gone to Hong Kong. To Hong Kong, of course, from Hong Kong, it gets distributed to different parts of the world, not only China, but to US and other places, also the Far East. So that way, Hong Kong is very, very important for the Indian gem and jewelry industry. So if in the background, if we're looking at that, the two shows in Hong Kong which are very, important is the March show, that's in the HKTDC show, the jewelry show, gem and jewelry show of HKTDC, which used to happen in March, and also the September show of Hong Kong, basically. So here we have with us, now of course one of the largest shows in the world in Hong Kong. Of course, due to this COVID situation, we are facing an unprecedented crisis, and we have never faced this crisis. The entire world, is somewhat standstill. It, of course, as it started somewhere in the eastern part of India. Because of that, we understand that China is the first one to come back into normalcy, and we will also hear from them their experience basically, that which is very vital, because in India the lockdown is continuing, and we can always have some background at how we can come out of that, and how basically based on the experience of the neighbors, how they have come out and how they have started their operations and how they are picking up the threads basically. So based on that, I will not take much more time, because in the end of the day, we need to understand that how the Chinese market is doing, how the vehicle like the Hong Kong show, which may be the first show, which maybe the world will be participating in August. If of course the IAGS happens in India, that may be. But other than that, this is the first show which the world may participate and can take advantage. So based on that, we would take it. I think I would welcome again the panelists from Hong Kong Trade and Development Council to the session, and I would now request Mr. Victor Yu, member of GJEPC Hong Kong International Diamond Gem and Pearl Show and Hong Kong International Jewellery Show Organizing Committee, to take over and start the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So, shall I start now? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Ray. Respected friends from GJEPC and our friends in India. Good afternoon. So it's my honor to share with you a little bit about our company and some of the China market updates with you guys today for 15 minutes. So let me start without delay. So today's agenda, mainly I would like to share about my company's experience in China. So today I will just briefly go through a little bit of company introduction and our investment in China. And because we did invest to quite a little bit of business startup in China, so there's a marketing strategy to promote our new startups, and then we will update you a little bit about the market situation in China. So because the exciting part is focused at the end, so for the first part I will just go through quickly for the backgrounds. So our company is Brilliant Trading Company, they call us BTC. So we are a Hong Kong-based company, and like most of you, we are focused. The BTC is focused on diamond wholesale. We are a roaster site holder with a manufacturing plants in China. So our headquarters is in Hong Kong, and we have office in India, Amtrak, Shanghai, and Shenzhen. So I'm sure in the year 2000, I think it's a turning point of our industry, because there's a lot of new policy in the site holder system. So year 2000, 20 years ago, I'm sure some of you may still remember that some of the key diamond producers actually always encourage the site holder or potential site holders to think about how to value add or add value to their current diamond business. So at that time, to be honest, I don't have any idea how to add value to a diamond. But at the same time, I'm sure you have the same experience that your broker will ask you to do something, otherwise you won't get a site. So since then, so what happened is, since year 2000, our company invested in more than 10 business startups and business projects in China. So today I will share a little bit about the experience. Some actually worked out quite well, some of them didn't work out well. So it's actually, there's a lot of pain, but there's some gain over the game as well over the time. So I would like to share with you our first major investment in China. So basically our first investment in China is invest in the Shanghai Diamond Exchange. As most of you may know that the Shanghai Diamond Exchange established in year 2000. So our role in Shanghai Diamond Exchange is actually Brilliant Trading Company joint venture with a very good Hong Kong company and become a shareholder in Shanghai Diamond Exchange. Because we are shareholders, so my father was actually appointed as the vice chairman of the board since the beginning. And since 2013, because my father retired from SDE board, so I succeed his position in SDE. So our performance in SDE is very simple. We since year 2000, we reduced the tax. So we create a proper channel to import diamond to the China market. So basically, we open a channel for the diamond market to expand in China. So from year 2000, basically from very insignificant importing countries, and nowadays we actually China become one of the major diamond consumption country in the world. So basically, we are coming from the last to top 3 in country, top 3 in the world over the last 20 years. So it's actually a rapid change and growing in the China market. So So we know that since the open of SDE opened the channel for the diamond to go to China market, so our company thinks that China is a market with great potential and business opportunity. So today I will share with you about one of our startups that we've been investing in.
Increase karna speed 100 mg, please.
Okay, so one case study we would like to share with you is Jewellery Company Limited, which is one of our startups that we invest over the years. So we would like to share with you the case study that Jewellery Company Limited is a new startup in China. So what happened is in 2008, we would like to set up a jewelry design company. Basically, we want to do something creative to lead the market. Because a lot of people, why we invest in this startup? Because back in year 2008, we found that the market had lack of product differentiation. So the product has nothing special. So everybody buying the same thing. If anything sells well, everybody copy each other. So there's no special about the product. And also the consumer doesn't have much knowledge and expectation on the product. So basically everything sells well. But we immediately saw the opportunity in the market because we think that once we can provide a more competitive jewelry product to the market, it may work. You have to drive demand in the market. So back in initial stage, 2008 and 2011, so what we do is we launch some product collection with creative concept, design, and craftsmanship, which is way in front of the market trend. So I'll give you an example. For example, if I'm a movie director, I make some interesting and special film, so people in the industry will be interested to see what we are doing. But what happened is it doesn't fit the market, so it doesn't hit the box office. So it doesn't have the income, but it creates a lot of noise. So so the good thing is it creates very good awareness. But at the same time, it's actually there's a slow growth of business because it doesn't hit the box office. We don't know what the market is about. It's creative, it's very innovative, it's interesting, the concept is good, but it doesn't hit the market. So in the first 3 years, we still try to find a way to do this business. So at 2011 and 2013, what we call is a fine-tune stage. So we are very glad that in 2011, a very large brand in China, I think they have, at that time, they have 500 shops in China. They said that they like our creativity. They like our concept, they like our design. So they suggest that you don't do your thing. Let us work together to develop the product. So what they do is they come up with a positioning, they come up with their brand identity, and give us some data to analyze on. And what we have to do is we come up with the concept, design, and some special craftsmanship that fit the brand. So I think this one actually went very lucky because it worked very well. It create very good sales to the brand, and it's a win-win situation. At the same time, our company actually have a growing reputation as a result. So since then, I think we work with about 5 to 8 top brands in China to help them to develop their products every year. So I think by working with so many top brands in China, first of all, we start to know about the diamond jewelry trend in China. So we capture a lot of data. Like when you're a doctor, when you do a lot of surgery, you start to get very good at that. So this is like the case that we have at the moment. So we create a lot of designs that actually come up with the trend. And also the most important thing is we start to know what works and what doesn't work in China market, especially with the diamond jewelry. And also the good thing is because by working with the brands, they will tell you what kind of things that works and doesn't work. So once it works, it hit the box office. So our sales goes up, we have got more money to come back, and we invest the money into our R&D. So we come back with a better product in the market. So I think this is part of the reason why our business grow. At the same time, I would like to share 2 very important points for you all in China market. First of all, about the consumers, because since 2013, 2015, what we realized with the brands, because we've been working with the brands for the last 10 years with a lot of China brands on their product development, what we find out about the consumer is, first of all, the standard of the consumer are rising. What I mean is they have more expectation on the brands and the products. First of all, their income level increase, and also their education level is increased as well. So with a better education, they have a judgment on what kind of things which is good, which is not good. They start to have judgment. And also they have a lot of jewelry information available on internet. For example, the diamond price is very transparent, so they can search on the internet about the diamond price. So the consumer becomes smarter. So, and also the consumer taste actually goes up as well. For example, they would like to have product before they buy everything, but now they would like product with culture, special concept and design. and they would like to have more choice. So actually the improvement of the consumers actually drive the brands to improve as well. Because what happens is when there's a change in the consumer taste and consumer trends, it makes the brand and the supplier change their mindset to come up with something more competitive for the market. So what we see as a result is for the brands, first of all, I'm sure our Indian friends will know that in China, we just opened up the market for about 20 years, but a lot of the brands actually, the new brands, for example, just 10 to 20 years, they start to grow very strong. They may have from one shop to maybe 1,000 shops in China in 10 years' time. So when the brands start to grow, the standard of the brands actually rise significantly. So when the brand standard rise, I think first of all, they are placed more emphasis on the quality. And second, what we find out about the brand is the owners or the senior management, they are a lot more professional in terms of the purchase, in terms of their product selection, in terms of branding, they are more professional on this. At the beginning, it's very loose, but now they become very professional. And what happened is a lot of the brands actually, they are listed company. So they look at a lot of index, for example, the profit margin, about the how well the product can sell. So with the resources, they are more willing to invest in the product R&D to come up with a very creative concept and design to attract return customer and raise the profit. And one of the points that the brands are facing, I'm sure not only in China, but everywhere in the world, the diamond price is very transparent. So the margin is dropping less and less, especially on the GIA goods. For example, in old days, they can sell pretty well, the margin is pretty good, but nowadays, there's a lot of online selling and a lot of transparency on price. So the margin on the GIA goods are dropping. So as a listed company, they need to search other product which can raise their profit margin and as well as the sales volume. So that's why they would like to invest a lot more on the R&D to come up with the creative concept and design to attract the return customer. For example, if I buy 1 carat from the shop today, we want them to become a return customer the next year or the year after. But you cannot keep selling GIA diamonds. You need to come up with something special to attract them to come back. That's why our business is actually growing, because a lot of people would like to work with us and invest with us about the product research and development part of the business. So our marketing strategy, as a startup, because we aim for the China market, so the business has been growing. So because we mainly target on the China market, so we participate originally in the China fair. But one statistics, we find out that during the March and April show, our business dropped nearly half compared to regular months. So we find that every March and April, when we are not doing the TTC fair, so our sales actually drop. So as our parent company, PDC is actually a regular exhibitor in the HK TTC show. So we would like to give Jewellery a try in the March TTC show and see how it goes. And immediately upon joining the March show, I think the show, our sales result went up by 5 times. So it showed that it's a very good platform to showcase our new and creative product in the show. And up to 2019, maybe about 4 or 5 years after we joined the show, the sales result actually went up by 10 times compared to when we first joined the show. So actually the result is very significant that it helps our new startup to grow the business. So I give you some of the photos that we have in 2018. Actually, after all these years, especially I'm on the board of the Shanghai Diamond Exchange. So basically, we know all the brands in China. But one of our job as exhibitor is that we have to schedule the meetings with our clients. So what we do is we call all our clients and schedule a very good timing with our clients to look at our goods. So the good thing is most of the clients are serious buyer. They come and really place the order. And also, I always complain about TDC because we don't have time for lunch. Because apart from the scheduled meetings, there's a lot of walk-ins. So we try to be as friendly and as helpful as possible to help the brands. Because what I find out about the TDC show is, because nowadays, you know, the market is very tough. The retail environment is actually very competitive. So everyone come to the show is try to source some competitive product for their brand to raise their competitiveness. So what we find out is in the show, the buyers are very serious. They really want to get a deal done. So that's why we're happy about the March show. And also, the mouse actually point to the poster that we have a Joyous Journey collection. We launched in 2018. Actually, we launched it in March show. We take it to March show. We'll see how it goes. And actually, a Chinese brand with over 1,000 shops actually won the exclusive right to sell this collection in China. So we launched it in March. We take it to the show and see how it goes. And I think the good thing about the show is actually you can talk with the client and see what doesn't work, what kind of things we need to tune, what kind we have to, things we have to fine tune, and the collection actually become better. And in 2019 March show, which is last year, I think our sales results actually achieved record high. This one I would like to share. This is a very case studies that I would like to show you. In 2019 show, before it started, maybe about maybe about 4 months, 5 months before the show starts, I worked with a brand in China, one-on-one on the product development. So one of the interesting thing is we come up with two concepts to them. One is time book series you saw on the screen, and the other one which is another collection. Because the client is actually a good friend of mine. I know him for more than 10 years. He's very good and he's very honest. He's very nice. So I want him to success. Because I know the time book series have a good chance of success. So I asked him, you better take this collection. But somehow he chose to go with another collection. So what we did is we quickly patent the collection. So make sure we have the IPR protection. So first thing, we patent the design. And the second thing is we take it to the March exhibition, TDC exhibition, and see how it goes. So I would like to share a little bit about the concept of our design. So the concept was actually invented by my wife and her creative team. So happy wife, happy life is always like that. And so what happened is the concept is no matter how the clocks turn, when this is as steel, the diamond always stop at 520. 520, the coding of 520, why we call time cook series? Because there's a code of 520. It means I love you in Chinese. So maybe there's a lot of arguments when it's moving. The point is always moving around. Maybe you have argument, you have upsets and stuff like that. But when it's still, which is the thing is always a still, which is most of the time, is still 520. It means I love you in Chinese. I have to share with you one thing is the Chinese is not like French or Italian. They are not romantic at all. In their mindset, they may be very romantic, but in reality, they are not. So if some of the product can help them to deliver their message, if things can help them, I think this is actually a very valuable thing for them. So what happened is immediately we know that it's got a very good chance to success. So what happened is there's a Chinese brand with over 500 shops in China. They think that is a very good idea. So what they did is I didn't think about the 520, the 20th of May at all in mind when I launched this in the March show. But a brand said, I want to hurry up because I want to launch it in May and see if we can catch the sales season for 520, which means I love you season, I love you day. So to deliver the message. So what happened is the brand actually got the exclusive right to sell this product, and we fine-tuned it for them, and then we provide the product on the 1st of May. And within 20 days, they sold all 3,000 pieces and create about 10 million of sales in 20 days. So what I want to share with you is nowadays we talk about online and offline. So for online, they all talk about the traffic, how you draw the traffic to the online shop and offline shop as well. So these kind of things with very interesting concept and ideas and stories, I think it can attract good traffic to the online shops, which I think the brand actually are looking for. And second, I think about the profit margin, because this kind of just imagine how much margin you can make from a 1 carat diamond. But for this one, you can sell easily, we can mark up easily by 3 to 4 times from its original cost and give you a bigger margin, and also it gives you a big sales volume in a short period of time. So actually, I would like to share with you another thing, because my friend who chose another collection, it's actually very interesting result as well, because this collection is like a sprinter. You get very quickly out of the block. You can get a lot of attention in a short period of time, but the sales actually drop very quickly afterwards. But my other client, which chose another collection, I think what he did is his collection actually fit his brand identity and position better. What he did is he had a slow start, but slowly, I think we can sell year after year. Actually, it's still selling very well after the time. So actually, what we do is the creative design. What we learn about that is it doesn't only sell in the shop, but it also have a good usage to attract the traffic to online shop and also the physical store. This is actually our selling. So after that, it's interesting because it's been selling very well. So the market start to know that we are doing this collection. So after initial success, I think there's other Chinese brands come to ask us, can you do something for us as well on this collection? So what we do is we help another brand, they want to do it online. So what we do is we try, because we know about the price point and the design, what goes well in online. And also one special thing is about this for us is since 2017, we help a lot of the China brand work on the online jewelry collections. So we know what kind of price point, design, and product trend goes well with the online. So we help them to create the online collection. So very special situation with the COVID-19 outbreak in China in January 2020, just last few months. Basically, for our company, we plan to shut down the office until April because it's not safe to go to the office. But actually, a few brands call us up. We have to go back to work to assist them to make the product. And basically, I asked why? Why? Because the shop is shut down, no one go to shopping. And then my client, our retail client said that their online shop, actually, because people stay home, they have more time to browse on the social media and also on doing the online shopping. So with a special concept to deliver, I Love You concept is very good. So basically, they want us to quickly we produce the product for them. But at that time, we are very hesitated because with the COVID-19 situation, I'm not sure about the payment. I'm sure everybody will fear the same as well, because once you do the business, the worst thing is you don't get the payment. You don't get the money back. So it will actually affect our cash flow as well, because cash flow at this time is very important. One of the amazing things that I shared with CF and Jenny just now, the amazing thing is the brand actually, they try to comfort me. So what they did is, this is first time ever for last 15 years, the 2 or 3 brands actually pay upfront. So they make the full payment before I even manufacturing for them. So this is actually a new practice for us. So this is the first good thing about the situation in China. Second, about our creative design team actually continue to work tirelessly to help brands come up with the online selling solution, because a lot of brands actually start to ask us for help because we've got experience, what kind of things we work well on online selling. So what we mean work tirelessly, for example, last week, a brand with about 2,000 shops in China, they come to our office and they say they like my concept, but they want to explore another 5 other ideas in addition to that concept. So what happened is my wife and his creative team stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning to help them to work on a design. So this is our determination. And one more thing I want to share with you about the what happened next. Da Vinci. I'm sure most of you heard about Da Vinci, because my wife has a great interest in art and culture. So she would like to work something new. Because what happened is, as I said, the standard of the brand actually improve all the time. So we need to invest more on our product development to keep ourselves up to the standard or ahead of the market. So what we did is we get the Da Vinci IP as a result. So I think the reason why we try to use Da Vinci, because first of all, it's very well known. Second, I think it can help to raise the brand image. And third, I think Da Vinci means a few things, for example, creativity, genius, and also it means high value. So I think it's very good for the brand to use. So this is a new try for us, because sometimes I know to get this IP is expensive, but what we want to do is we want to show that as a new company, we actually have the determination and heart to try new things. Determination and heart is very important to try new things. So at this time, we're still working on that. So just back to the summary. So what happened is, like I said, 20 years ago, we always try to think of a way to add value to our diamond products. So after 20 years of evolving, eventually we find a way in jewelry that, first of all, we try to provide the diamond jewelry with a concept, with a good story, with a good design, so that you can value add to the end consumer. Especially, first of all, how to attract the traffic to the shops, etc. And also, I think one of the things that I want to say as a final word, as a startup, I think TDC Jewelry Show is a very great and valuable platform to showcase and launch our new products, as we show in the Time Code series. And also, the March Show is a very good platform to network with the other brands, and also improve our products as well. So this is all for our sharing. So it's actually we can do more sharing in the Q&A session. So I better pass the time to Jenny. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So thank you, GJEPC, for inviting TDC to join today's sharing session. And we treasure very much the opportunity to have a direct dialogue with the Indian jewelry community. We fully understand the extreme challenge that companies are facing. But this pandemic will for sure come to an end, and we should think about the future and get prepared to reboot the business in order to catch up the business loss. So Victor has shared with us a very encouraging case of his company in exploring new frontiers in Chinese mainland. So Asia has been driving the world's growth for the past decade. And for sure, Asia will continue to carry the momentum after the pandemic. And IMF has just predicted that China will be the strongest economy in 2021. And the Chinese mainland will be a major force leading the recovery in Asia. And last year, consumer consumption made up more than half of China's GDP. So here, I would like to share some encouraging signs we recently observed in the mainland's retail sector. Chow Tai Fook is a Hong Kong company, which is also China's largest jeweler. About 90% of the shops were closed in February, but now 90% of the shops are open. While sales are still down, the mall traffic has not returned to the pre-virus level, but the consumers are still interested in jewelry, though more on the cheaper items, but they are still buying. And the sales is better than they expected. And so they predict the market will return to normal in 3 to 4 months' time. And the most successful case was on this slide. You see it's a special Stay Safe pendant that they have designed. And all 5,000 pieces were sold out within 30 seconds at their online platform. And another Hong Kong's leading jewelry retailer is Luk Fook, and they also have a strong presence in China. The total sales across all Luk Fook's shops fell 50% year on year. But out of the surprise, the group's business in the Chinese mainland has improved progressively in the first 2 weeks of April. And the company also expects the jewelry market to rebound in the second half of the year. And they will even launch a new Luk Fook boutique gallery, focusing just on high-end products, and each piece will cost about $7,000 US. And it was widely reported that Hermes has brought in at least 19 million renminbi sales, or $2.5 million US in sales on a single day, with the reopening of its flagship store in Guangzhou on the 11th of April. So this is another very positive indicator that Chinese consumers are ready to start purchasing luxury goods. So Kering Group is a very well-known company hosting many famous brands. And they also said that the demand in China was recovering. They also observed very encouraging signs at their outlets in the mainland. And same as the Hong Kong jewelers, and they have confidence that the market will rebound and will be very good in the medium and long term in China. And Hong Kong will be your most reliable platform to capture the business opportunities in Asia, especially the Chinese mainland market. So TDC is organizing more than 30 fairs a year. And the 2 twin shows we held in March, one on diamond, gem, and pearl, and one on fine jewelry, are the world's largest jewelry marketplace. And last year, we had 4,600 exhibitors, with 165 exhibitors from India. So thanks to GJEPC and the Commodities as our agent for hosting the very sizable Indian pavilion with more than 100 exhibitors joining. And the 2 shows are well recognized as a very important and effective platform to capture business opportunities in Asia. So we attracted 90,000 buyers from more than 130 countries. And our top priority is Asia. So we have 78% of our buyers are from Asia. 30% are buyers from the Chinese mainland. And we are very glad to also have 6,000 buyers from India. So probably many of you are aware that we have postponed our fairs from March to May, and now from May to August. And currently, overseas travelers are not allowed to visit Hong Kong, and any Hong Kong citizens arriving in Hong Kong is subject to a compulsory quarantine of 14 days. and this will last till the 18th of June. So our overseas exhibitors and buyers will have difficulty to come to Hong Kong. But since February, many international trade shows around the world have been cancelled or postponed. And the US and European markets in particular have been hard hit. And companies, especially SMEs, are keen to sell their excess inventory to improve their cash flow and to recover the business loss as soon as possible. So we are trying our best to provide an alternative time in order to grasp the first possible chance for business to be resumed. And it is observed that retail business in the mainland China is showing signs of gradual recovery, and we should not underestimate the pent-up purchasing demand from not only mainland China, but also some other Asian markets. So with the outbreak situation in the region since stabilizing, members of a fair organizing committee, with Victor is also one of our members, they have unanimously agreed that hosting the show in August would be a viable option. So it's important to gain the first mover advantage. And we also encourage companies that have been focusing mainly on the mature economies to diversify into emerging markets and to start feeling the pulse of the Chinese mainland market. So the August shows will be held from 3rd to 6th of August under one roof at the Asia World Expo. And understandably, this August twin shows will be on a smaller scale. So we encourage our exhibitors to consider a minimal physical presence at the show, but just to reboot the business, to start reconnecting with your buyers. And here is the product zoning for our August show. We have some slight adjustments as shown on the slide, but it's more or less following the original March shows. And some very good news to our Indian friends. The Hong Kong government is offering a one-off subsidy to both Hong Kong and also overseas exhibitors. And the scheme will subsidize 50% of your participation fee with a cap of 10,000 Hong Kong dollars. And this only applies to the fairs organized by TDC. And since the scheme will last for 12 months, which means it will also cover the March shows that is held next year. And one 9 square meter standard booth would cost less than $4,700 US, which is around 22% off the original fee. And of course, Indian companies could also apply for local funding, and this will help further minimize your cost of participation. So we encourage our exhibitors to consider a minimal physical presence at the show, just to reboot the business, to get some good leads, hopefully, and to obtain more contacts, for you to follow up for the upcoming months and subsequent shows. So if you are interested to join the show, please approach Comnet, who has been organizing the Indian pavilions at our shows for many years. And if you are interested to visit our show, you can also approach our representative office in India. But nevertheless, the safety of exhibitors and buyers is always our top priority. And we are now in close liaison with the Center for Health Protection in order to keep monitoring the situation. So if the situation does not allow us to host this August fairs, please rest assured that all our exhibitors will have a choice to get the full refund of the participation fee. And during the fair, we will of course offer some value-added service to our exhibitors. So we could arrange meetings with overseas media, and Indian companies could join the jewelry parades. And of course, we have series of seminars on the market trends, etc. But our priority is to reconnect our exhibitors with buyers through every possible way during this difficult time. So apart from providing a platform for companies to meet face-to-face, we are also helping our exhibitors to maintain and establish online contact with their buyers. So first of all, similar to past years, we will offer our exhibitors 10 photos to be free, totally free, to be posted at our hktdc.com sourcing platform. But we are also going to introduce 2 new initiatives. First, for our August shows exhibitors and buyers, they could do the DIY online business matching on their own at our new matchmaking tour about 2 weeks before the show. So they could start look for the potential clients or partners at this platform. And TDC will also have some VIP sponsored buyers that will provide them with air ticket and hotel accommodation. And many of these sponsored buyers are actually nominated by our exhibitors. So if eventually they really couldn't make it to come to Hong Kong to visit our shows, we will provide this O2O business connect, and we will arrange virtual meetings for these buyers to meet with our exhibitors during the fair. So we are expecting the situation will improve in August, and we will resume our physical exhibition as soon as possible. And we hope that the online promotion, together with the twin shows in August, can complement each other and maximize the synergy. And my colleague, CF will have more to share with you. We have some other O2O packages for your consideration. But to end my presentation, I would like to share the 4 C's brought by the COVID-19. So it has brought us challenge, and with challenge, we have to change. And to change, we have to be creative, like what Victor has shared with us, and hope that you won't miss the market, which is so important, and that's China. So with these 4 C's, we hope together we will think, reimagine, and reinvent our business. So as I mentioned, if you're interested to visit the 2 shows in August, or you would like to know more about the Hong Kong platform or TDC services, please feel free to contact our representatives in India. We have one in Mumbai and one in Delhi. And for our Mumbai office, is actually overseeing South Asia. They also oversee Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. As introduced by Jenny, we all look forward to seeing you and welcoming all of you from India to Hong Kong in August twin shows. But before that, there are still 4 months from now until August. I don't think you can just sit back and relax, because everybody is actually getting very busy in preparing for market to resume normal. And that's what we are also receiving requests and ideas from the trade in Hong Kong, how we can proceed, try to maintain the business as usual during this epidemic situation. So the online marketplace will be probably one option for all of you to consider. And the backbone or the infrastructure of this online marketplace is actually the HKTDC.com sourcing, which has been there in the market for almost 20 years. So here are some basic figures about our online marketplace. Right now, we have 130,000 suppliers from all over the world. Many of them are, in fact, the exhibitors of the physical trade fairs of some 30+ trade fairs in Hong Kong, organized by TDC. And we have more than 2 million registered buyers from all over the world. And every month, we generate 5 million visitor sessions. That's a jargon about how the online buyers are behaving on the online marketplace. And every year, we generated 24 million business connections generated through this online platform. And on this marketplace, we have around close to 9,000 suppliers of jewelry, and we have more than 57,000 products of jewelry. Honestly, jewelry is not the biggest cluster we have on the HKTDC.com, but somehow the online buyers of jewelry, actually they rank first among all the sectors in making inquiries on our marketplace. It means that the jewelry buyers are very proactive, they're very genuine, and they're very serious in making inquiries through our online marketplace. So this is something that you have to bear in mind, and that's something that you can look upon to during this epidemic season. So here is one breakdown about the where the online buyers are coming from. In fact, they are very much similar to the physical twin show in March, because they are actually coming from all over the world, and with a bit of emphasis from the new markets, as we can see from here, the ASEAN market, and as far as the Middle East and Latin America as well. So here are some encouraging figures about the trade fair websites. of the jewelry show and also the diamond, gem, and pearl show. In the past year, actually the source inquiries and also the total number of page views for these two websites have been on the increase as ever. So I would say this is the sourcing online, as also introduced by Victor, seems to be a ongoing trend for all sectors, including the jewelry one. In the very first beginning, we always say that the jewelry sectors may not be the first mover in terms of the online sourcing, but somehow it seems that in the past few years, things have changed, and I think the momentum has been picking up quite rapidly. So at the request of the trade, as a response to the COVID-19 virus, the TDC has put together the first ever Spring Virtual Expo using the hktdc.com sourcing as our backbone. We actually launched that Spring Virtual Expo for a whole month, from the 1st to the 30th of April. So today we are actually approaching the end of this Spring Virtual Expo. We target 500,000 of buyers who are unable to travel to this part of the world due to the cancellation and postponement of the fairs, including the March Jewelry Show and including 9 shows we have in April. And we also target some 22,000 suppliers. Many of them are also supposedly to be the exhibitors of a March and April shows, but they are unable to exhibit in a physical platform. And that's why we target 33 product categories, categorized in 4 themes, which under tag, lifestyle, gifts, and so on and so forth. And along that line, we also able to introduce more than 400 new suppliers and close to 9,000 new photos or new products during the past 2 months, so as to attract the online buyers, the attention from them. So you may ask whether this is effective or not. So here are some real figures that I can share with you. You know, March is a rather low season because of the virus outbreak. And but compared to March, I think April has been picking up rapidly through the Spring Virtual Expo. We have registered double-digit growth in terms of the traffic to the website and also the inquiries. And even when we compare to the same figures of last year, we also enable a small growth. And here we also share with you some of the countries and regions where we have more traffic compared to the others. So on the left column, you can see that Hong Kong, China, and even USA and some other ASEAN countries, they are the sources of the online buyers. And the middle column shows that where the inquiries are coming from. So you can see USA, local, and even UK, where you understand the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus is very severe. We still have a substantial amount of online inquiries coming from USA and United Kingdom during the past month. And you may see on the right column that these are the product categories that register the most inquiries. There's no doubt the medical supplies, like things like the antiseptic hand washes and surgical masks, have registered exponential growth in the past month. But some traditional sectors like toys and games, gift, and even consumer electronics, they still register a very good substantial proportion of inquiries from online as well. So apart from a very, I would say, a passive mode of sitting there and wait for the inquiries to come, our business matching team also work together with our 50 office network around the world in boosting up the inquiries. We actually, without a physical trade fair, we still try to contact those buyers, whether they work from home or even they're locked up in their own countries and cities. We're still able to reach them through phone calls, through WhatsApp, and through other social media, and try to take out those who still have those sourcing requests. And by then, we are able to process hundreds and hundreds of business matching requests. And you can see they are coming from Asia, Europe, Americas, and the rest of the world. And one new thing is that we, with the help of the technologies like the Zoom or like the Microsoft Teams, like this kind of video conferencing software, we are able to put together some virtual business matching meetings at the request of the overseas buyers. And at the bottom of the screen, you can see a few slides, some photos showing that our colleagues are hosting a video conference meeting with the buyers and also the suppliers from Hong Kong and China. So I think these are something that showing that the business has not totally stopped in the world. It has been going on here and there and behind the scene, maybe without your notice, but the business as usual is still very much, in the pipeline. So you may ask, today is almost the end of April. So what's the way forward after the end of the Spring Virtual Expo? So our plan is to launch a very targeted specialized promotion for jewelry and watch in June, probably to build the momentum for our August twin shows in Hong Kong. And then in July, because we will reschedule the April 9 fairs to the end of July, and make it a summer sourcing week. So by launching a concurrent summer virtual expo versus the spring virtual expo in April, we are launching a summer virtual expo in July. We'll be able to build up even further the momentum and generate the interest of the online buyers, so that when the situation allows, when the pandemic becomes less severe as now, and when the business start to resume normal, and when the global traffic can also resume normal, we'll be able to really make things happen and try to generate all the online inquiries back to the physical marketplace in Hong Kong. And as mentioned by Jenny, and also probably mentioned by Victor, we will have some new themes in the Summer Virtual Expo. One of them is the stock lot sale, because as they mentioned, there are serious disruption of the supply chain. There are some cancellation of orders from overseas buyers, but somehow the goods are already produced and they are already in the warehouse of our suppliers, and they need to be sold so that the cash flow of the suppliers can be improved. So very much at the request of the trade. So at the Summer Virtual Expo, we will be launching a theme. One of the themes is the stock lot sales, so that we will be able to promote these stock from our suppliers from all over the world. So here are some of the examples that we'll be doing the online promotions through various means, like online EDM, like some banner ads, even promotions through the social media like Facebook, LinkedIn, and in China, Weibo, all these kind of social media. We'll be deploy this medium extensively so that we can get the attention of the buyers from online, and so that we can also gather their inquiries and also the interest to be lined up to be matched with our suppliers. So you may ask, if you are interested in doing this kind of preparatory work, and how you can actually participate. So we have two levels of participation. Because in the past few months, I would say, we have been helping two major provinces in China. One of them is Zhejiang, the other one is Fujian. And through the coordination of their governments, their provincial governments, and the related associations, we have actually helped hundreds of their companies who are actually back to business for a few weeks already, to do a very massive promotions online, either through our Summer Virtual Expo or at the upcoming Summer Virtual Expo. And these participation are actually, to a very large extent, funded by the government and the associations. So you can see one of the options is something that on a collective basis, maybe spearheaded by the GJEPC, that we have very extensive exposure on the online arena through the EDN, through the banner ads, through the push notifications, that we highlight the presence of India as a whole, in a collective way. So I don't go into details with that. We can discuss that further and followed by the email exchanges. And at the same time, we can also allow a certain number of Indian companies to be exposed online and through a collective manner. And if they also join on an individual basis, they are also allowed a certain photo space, and they can also polish their exhibits and post it online. And TDC will be helping them to push these new products through the various means that I introduced, and we can try to gather the interest of the online buyers and try to connect you with the buyers even before the August show, and so that you can really have a long waiting list and long schedule list like Victor has mentioned during the August trade shows in Hong Kong. So that's more or less how I would like to present or share with you today. And let's see whether you have any questions and comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to all our speakers for their insights. It's encouraging to know that business sentiment is improving now in Hong Kong and China. I think it would help our exhibitors to know what measures TDC is taking to bring in buyers to the show in August. Jenny or CF, if you could take that question for us.
Excuse me. I think that there are some questions which has come from our viewers, and I have just noted down those questions. What is being asked? You know, I think I'll first ask Victor. Basically, what has come out of this question? One of the questions what everybody is asking is that how is currently the business in China? Basically, whether the customers are told whether they're buying, and if they're buying, what is the percentage of that buying? You know, that is what I can ask. Because we have some certain experience in India through the online buying, which we have seen that 30% of the buying has happened online, though it is under lockdown for one of the for auspicious occasions. You know, so I'll try to ask you that what is the exact business scenario right at this moment in China with regard to the consumers coming back to the shops and the demand.
So I try to explain a little bit about the situation in China. So first of all, from my knowledge with my clients, first of all, I think because of lockdown, most of the consumer actually has to stay home, so they have more time to go online to do shopping. So the online shopping is still doing very well for some of the brands in China. About delivery, I think the delivery is okay because they can deliver to the where you live. I think it's still possible to deliver. And I think for the physical store, what I've heard from my clients is actually they're not open fully, but they open about 6 to 8 hours a day. People have to queue up to go to the shop. They have a social distance restrictions, so they have to make sure not all the people go in at the same time. So the business is still a little bit slow but recovering. But actually, because they've been locked down for so long, so for the Chinese people, they kept all their purchasing power in one go and try to buy. Yes. So I think that like Zhongtai Book and Lookbook sharing, I think the business start to come back. Yeah.
Okay. So that's good. That you know that of course it sums up what exactly is the situation on ground. Now regarding 8K TDC, you know, Hong Kong Trade Development Council, if we can ask you, you know, Jenny, what you have told is of course very encouraging, that whatever offers you are giving, etc. But what the people is asking is that one of the one important question they are asking is that, you know, in September you have the show, and what is the logic if you are organizing the show in August? Then back to back within a month you will have 2 shows in Hong Kong.
Yes, as I explained just now, we have consulted the industry players. We have consulted our members of the organizing committee. We realized that some SMEs, they are now really keen to restart the business, and they couldn't even wait, you know, for really too long time to reconnect with the buyers. So when we are able to secure a time slot at the Asia World Expo close-down show, we will go ahead with it. That we hope, of course, we are not expecting it will be a big scale, as I emphasized, but there will be companies, exhibitors, they are keen to take this first mover advantage, as I emphasized. That is to start reconnecting with buyers, especially, and as I emphasized, is from Chinese mainland. However, there are still a lot of uncertainties around this coronavirus outbreak. We need some favorable conditions for us to host this August fair. So we need to ease the travel ban. So at least overseas visitors do not need to be compulsory quarantine, and like to be resumed so that they could come to Hong Kong. So we are keep monitoring the situation, but we couldn't wait. we have to start preparing now. And in fact, back in February, we have 6,000 buyers from around the world have registered with us that they will come to the show. So what we are doing now is that we are now reconnecting with these 6,000 buyers. And we are now giving them with information about the confirmed exhibitors for our August show. We hope that through the online platform, we start to reconnect them. And once the situation becomes favorable, then we will have this August show. And during the August show, they will meet with some potential clients, they will gather some leads, and we hope that this leads will further follow up in the upcoming months at the upcoming show. So that is our thought, that we want to have the first mover advantage for our exhibitors. And if the show couldn't really materialize, and we will arrange full refund to our exhibitors.
Okay, so that answers a lot of questions, though I think that some of the people are asking about the possibility of travel at that time, but you have already answered that you are watching the situation. If something develops, of course, you will take necessary steps.
Yes.
What I understand from you. And the same is what is that in case of, like what we are telling that some people are told that web membership of $350 during this time is a bit steep. People are talking in these lines. I don't know about that membership, web membership.
So we can maybe come back to that offline after we review what
Okay,
they're referring
no issue. So this is one of the questions that has been asked. So I just, parried the question, that's all.
Yes.
So I think this, sums up all the questions what I have seen basically. And of course, you have already answered that in case of the show getting cancelled, the people will have the option of getting the refund or carrying forward the refund. Both are possible. So that's good. And from our part, thank you for coming and having a very comprehensive understanding of the situation and also giving us a view that what basically will be your outlook basically. Thank you for the same. I think back to Chandrika, you.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to you, Mr. Ray, for giving us a platform to do this, and to speakers from TDC. And I hope we can all make it to Hong Kong in the next few months and meet in person. So thank you, everyone. I guess that's the end of the seminar for now. Thank you for joining. And any questions you have, please send us offline and we'll be sure to reply to all of them.
Thank you.